You're in the mix.
SKM presents Strictly for the Music Podcast. You are now live with the #1 podcast for all upcoming artists worldwide.
It's the real
deal.
Yo, have you heard about the Anchor app? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Yo, no cas. Yeah, I'm serious. No, not delirious. Let me explain the functions. Number 1, it comes complimentary. Are you hearing me? That means the Anchor app is free. We got all the functions necessary. Creation tools is what they calling it. Makes it super easy to edit your podcast. Yeah, even from your pocket. Straight from your phone or your PC. It don't matter, it's still free. Anchor will distribute, you ain't gotta do a thing. And they're making sure you could be heard on all the major streams. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, yeah, we got that. Many more, go ahead, explore. If you're finna make the dough, wanna let you know you can make it all here. Live your dream as an anchor for show, for free. No education further, with no minimum listenership. Yeah, you got that correct. Whatever you need, we got all you can see. To make a podcast as easy as 1, 2, and 3. Download the free Anchor app to get started. You can also go to anchor.fm. Let's get you top charted. Back to the show. Yeah, we gonna get it poppin'.
You're in the mix.
SKM presents Strictly for the Music Podcast. You are now live with the #1 podcast for all upcoming artists worldwide.
It's the real
deal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Strictly for the Music Podcast. I'm your host, SKN. The next guest I got live and direct is an artist from the notorious anime hip-hop band, Shonen Shinobi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcoming to Jisu.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come on this beautiful radio station.
Thank you so much for having you, and it's an honor. So let's get straight to this. Describe your music, and after you describe your music, can you tell the people where to find you and how to look you up in your music, please?
Oh, sure. Most of the times I make music with a band called Athena's, and we do mostly Korean pop covers, but we do have an original album coming out soon. And the things that define my music is I think of just a lot of elements, a lot of sound. I really like lyrical lyrics, and, I try to try something new here and then,
All right. Can you describe your music from the beginning and how did it all start?
I got into music when I started listening to K-pop. Before that, I used to listen to just some rap and some American pop, but I saw how creative and beautiful that, other languages could be. So I decided to start making covers on BandLab, and then soon I made up my mind and I was like, how about I make up a cover group and see what I can do with that? So, I found some girls, Neva, Nami, Lainey, and Aisha, and Mimi, and we just started making covers ever since then. And then later on, I got into songwriting and I started producing beats on my own and making my own lyrics, and then I constructed a full album for me and the girls to sing. So that's how I primarily got into music.
All right, that's dope. So how did you discover BandLab, and what were you going through when you dropped your first song on BandLab?
I don't remember how I found BandLab, but I think I was looking for GarageBand and I found BandLab instead. And I saw it was a cool community, so, I just joined. And I don't know what I was doing when I dropped my first cover, but, I thought that even if I don't really get that far in my music, that I can improve my vocals through my covers. So that's what I was intentionally doing. when I first dropped it.
All right, that's really dope. So let's talk about your catalog. You have a pin post on your band lab. Is the name of the song is Touch. Can you give us a little bit detail and how the creative process creating that song?
The song personally isn't mine. It's a cover, but the meaning of the song Touch was about being really eager about something and trying to get your fingerprints on it, that touch. Some of us can be eager about, starting a love life or creating music. And, I was like, this is a good start. So I decided to cover Touch,
That's really amazing. So, your newly released single was Dynamite.
Yes.
Could you give us a little bit detail on the song that you made and how the creative process was like?
The song is also a cover. It's by BTS. And I guess the process was trying to get my vocals to sound really clean, because sometimes when you're trying to record your vocals, there'll be like breaths in the microphone. And yeah, like I haven't released any of my own songs yet, but I do have a lot of them in my projects that will be released sometime this month.
Okay, so do you have a name for the album you're dropping?
It's called Inception, which is like a new pathway and a beginning. And the album is going to be with my group. I think I plan to drop some of my own personals on SoundCloud, but other than that, that's the main one that I'm working on.
That's really dope. So let me ask you this. Since you have an album coming out this month, can we expect any music videos from you?
Ooh, in future time, I think we're just gonna drop out visuals first. But since we all live scattered across the country, but if things go well, then you should expect something,
That's dope. Have you ever thought about, after releasing your album and after this pandemic lifts off the nation, could we expect a concert or a show from you and your band?
Yes. Honestly, I think the pandemic is what kind of grew our music, to be honest, because we didn't have time in our everyday's life. But the pandemic, kind of made us sit down and just like think about stuff, what we wanted to do from there on. So you could expect more from us because of the pandemic,
That's really amazing. So let me ask you this. Let's go back to your covers. So you're a coverist, and you have all sorts of different covers on your band lab page. So let me ask you this. Have you ever thought about performing any of your covers live, like on Instagram, YouTube Live, Facebook Live?
I've never actually thought of performing them. I've just had features on a lot of Shinobi's music and like other artists that request.
How do you do it?
Okay, so can we expect any future collabs on your new album coming out this month?
Sadly not. We didn't plan to have collabs. We just kind of it was kind of put together to show our skills. But for the next album, definitely expect some collabs from smaller artists, anyone that reaches out to us, because we love any genre, any singer of music.
Okay. So far, what are your favorite collabs so far?
The one with D-Step and Trent too.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how did you get invited to Sean and Shinobi, and what was the collab? How did that creative process come up with Trent too?
I got invited to Shinobi when I think I was at like 200 followers, and D-Stag reached out to me. He saw my love for anime as well, and I just got invited, and then when I was talking to them in the chat, they were like, "Hey, do you want to hop on this track?" And they gave me like a piece that I could fit in my raps or my singings in, and from that on, I can write lyrics really quickly, and I just let my fingers do all the talking. That's how it kind of went.
That's dope. So, how are you different from other artists?
I think I'm different from other artists because I like writing about different things, in terms of like literature. Sometimes I can write about metaphors or short stories and turn them into different perspectives. I also like to write songs that have tricks in them too. And what I mean by tricks is that they come off as a happy song, but sometimes it's, not actually a happy song. The beat just gives it the illusion. I think that's how I'm different a little bit from other artists.
That's dope. That's dope. I like that. So, let me ask you this: what would you say to inspire the youth?
I think you should just write music from your heart. If you have a picture in your mind, just go for it. You're going to make some bumpy mistakes and you're going to have to learn a lot of things while you're on this pathway, but making music from the bottom of your soul is really what you need to be an artist. And I think that younger artists, especially I'm one of those younger artists, you can do it. If you have a main idea or if you have a main concept and stick to it, you got it,
Who is your music targeted towards?
I'd probably say for anyone who listens to music with meaning. If you want to be, amazed by a song of how hard it made you think, that's my target artist. I think my target purpose is to make people think about what they listen to, because sometimes we can just take words for granted when, they mean a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is one of your favorite lyrics you wrote, or a favorite quote that you might have in mind?
I'd have to say it's like a sneak peek from my album, and it's called "Break Free." Those are my favorite lyrics that I've written before. It's just about overcoming your insecurities, and it's a sneak peek lyric is "Break free, that's happening. Goodbye to the disappointments." That's one of my favorite lyrics that I've written because
All right. So,
hello,
okay.
sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You should just start where you left off.
It's just a song about breaking free of your insecurities. Everyone has something that they personally struggle with that they think is imperfect about them. But when you break free from those boundaries and those negative thoughts, you can, the sky's the limit. That's just one of my favorite lyrics that I've written so far.
Absolutely. So, what was it like growing up where you're from?
Growing up, I think my mind was like filled with a lot of curiosity, honestly. I'd listen to different types of music. I'd try to learn about different things, different cultures. Growing up, there was some hardships, but honestly, I just thank God that I was a positive child, like I just see things differently. And now I can proudly say, that the things me growing up has really helped and inspired my music today.
How old were you when you decided you wanted to do music?
I'd say like 14.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I'd say Keshi. Keshi started off as a SoundCloud artist, and I really like his bedroom pop style. I think we should collab if I ever get a chance with him.
So, what do you do outside of music?
I play volleyball outside of music, and that's about it. And I still go to school too, but outside of music, I primarily just play games or just learn about different things.
That's dope. That's dope. So, what are your music guilty pleasures?
R&B and K-pop for sure. R&B gives you a soulful, feeling, and the vocals are just very nice. And K-pop is very creative and beautiful to me. It can, it can go from something really deep to something, that doesn't really have any meaning, but it just gets you hyped up. So those are my guilty pleasures.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How will your music evolve?
How would it evolve? I think it'll evolve when I have better resources, like when I learn more about how to
Jisu, we are back online. So, you want to give any final shout outs to anyone you want to holler at?
I'd say a shout out to Shonen Shinobi for giving me this great opportunity. And for my band, I See You, because we will be making an album this month. So excited.
Okay. So, do you have any final words you want to tell everybody?
Happy, and you'll learn lessons and you'll love them. That's my final message to all you beautiful people on this radio.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jisu from Shonen Shinobi. This is Strictly for the Music Podcast, and we're gone.